language is the foundation of reading, and if not developed properly, it will limit how a child pronounces a word and even how they can comprehend a story, even if the story is read aloud to them. That's why in this video, I'm going to share with you 4 major ways to improve comprehension by simply developing oral language. Now, research shows us that a child should have the ability to speak fluently by the age of 3, yet doesn't develop the ability to read fluently until the age of 6. Yet, still at the age of 6, this is depicted upon a child's oral language development. All of these activities are aimed to develop oral language. However, we must first understand what oral language is and why it is so important. Now, oral language is the ability to use listening comprehension in order to regurgitate or say your knowledge, feelings, or even your thoughts. Oftentimes, we only associate oral language with children the ages of 2 through 5. However, in this video, I'm going to share with you activities that you can do to improve oral language with children of all elementary ages.
Oh my goodness.
Now, we all know that language skills are important as soon as a child is born, but research shows us that by the time the child is in the 4th grade, there is a strong correlation between oral language comprehension, and this becomes a crucial factor in reading comprehension. Not only that, researchers at the Florida Center for Reading Research found a strong correlation between verbal comprehension, and oral reading fluency beginning in grade 4. You can only imagine that this corresponding relationship between oral language and reading comprehension is going to get drastically more important as children continue to read more complex texts. If a child hasn't developed oral language, then they are at risk for reading difficulties. If the science of reading research has done anything for us, it is allowing us to understand how things like oral language development actually relates to reading comprehension. The simple view of reading actually breaks down how children actually master and learn reading comprehension. As stated in this video, the simple view of reading is simply the idea that reading comprehension is a product of 2 things: decoding and language comprehension. Now, with decoding skills, children are able to recognize and sound out words, while language comprehension allows children to interpret the meaning of those words and how those words all fit together. Now, the first activity you can do, and one of my favorite things to do to increase oral comprehension and get children to just comprehend the text, is to ask before, during, and after comprehension questions. So, as you read a book out loud, meaning that you are doing all the reading, you are going to ask your children questions before you read, while you read, and then after you've actually finished the text. This allows children to be able to orally interact with a story, whether they are 2 years old or even 10. In fact, I can make this even easier for you. In my ultimate reading kit, I'm giving you done for you, rinse and repeat comprehension questions that will work for any given story. Therefore, you can teach smarter, not harder, and the best part, it's absolutely free. I'll have the link down below to that in the description. Now, for the next activity, go ahead and grab some things so that children can reenact a story that was read aloud to them. As children are reenacting the story, they're verbally able to develop their oral language development while also comprehending what happened in the story, and then also showing you that they knew exactly what happened in the story.
And the big bad wolf huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down. Not by the hair of my chinny chin chin. And he huffed and he puffed and he blew the house down.
For the next activity, you're going to read a book out loud, and then you are going to do inside-outside circle. This is an activity that's really similar to like speed dating, and is really useful if you have a big group of children. You want to divide up all the children into 2 different groups, an inside circle and an outside circle. The inside circle will then be facing another child in the outside circle, thus being in pairs. This activity is done much like speed dating in that it is done in 3 different rounds, and each round will be 60 seconds. The first round will be how did they feel about the story and why. During those 60 seconds, the inside circle will then share how they felt about the story, and then why. And then another 60 seconds would go, and the outside partner would then share how they felt about the story and why. Then the outside circle only will then move one person to the right. With new partners, you're ready to start round 2. Round 2 is about one thing they would change about the story and why, and would work just like round 1. Of course, at the end of this round, the outside circle would then go to the next partner, and you are ready to begin round number 3, which is if they were the main character of the story, what would they do differently and why? This allows children to be able to orally respond to critical thinking questions and allow them to be able to share their thoughts, feelings, and ideas. Now the next thing you can do is kind of tricky, but hold on. Work with me now. Go ahead and grab a list of very challenging words. Then I want you to have a conversation with your children and intentionally use these challenging words. This will force children to be able to figure out the meaning of those words based on the context in which the words were used. The object of this activity is to get them to continue to respond to you as you continue to use these super complex words, thus making them really associate words with meaning. Now, if you have a child that can't simply make this correlation while verbally having a conversation with you, then you can bet your bottom dollar that they cannot do this when they're reading. Did I just say bet your bottom dollar? Oh my goodness. Now, all of these activities are perfect when children have been read a book out loud and can be used whether or not children are reading on their own or not. However, what happens when children are forced to read a book independently? Then what do you do to increase reading comprehension? Well, that's why you need to watch this video so I can help you out with that.